Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari. Jasura Nandana Braja Jana Ranjano. Jasura Nandana Braja Jana Ranjano. Jamunatira Vanachari. Jamunatira Vanachari. Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Ho Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari. You're next. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari. Jasura Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana. Jasura Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana. Jamunatira Vanachari. Jamunatira Vanachari. Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Sri Radha Madhava ki, Sri Radha Giridhari ki jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajaka Jaja Shodra Shri Srimad His Divine Grace Bhai Charanara Vinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajaka Jaja Shodra Shri Srimad His Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada ki jai. Nantakoti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Samveda Bhakti ki jai. Go Premanandi. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories assembled devotees. All glories, CC Guru and Sri Gauranga. Hare Krishna. So this morning I'll be reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam, 7th canto, 4th chapter, starting with text 3. We'll do 3 and 4. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. How's that? Vijamani, is there enough air in here now? Do you need to open the door a little more? Okay. In the old days, at least at the Sunday feast, we used to light 2 of those charcoals for the Sunday feast. Open the curtains, you know, the charcoal things, and you fill up the whole altar, you open the curtains, and there's just be cloud to come out. And when the cloud was cleared, you see who was still here and who wasn't. Whoever was still here is sincere. That's how we made devotees. We used to fill up the temple room with... Anyways, so now it's just down to 1. Okay. Tato Jagama Bhagavan Amoga Anugraho Vibhu Pujito Suravarina Stuyamana Prajeshwarai Tato Jagama Bhagavan Amoga Anugraho Vibhu Pujito Suravarina Stuyamana Prajeshwarai Tato Jagama Bhagavan Amoganugraho Vibhu Pujito Suravarina Stuyamana Prajeshwarai Tato Jagama Bhagavan Amoganugraho Vibhu Pujito Suravarina Stuyamana Prajeshwaraya. Anyone like to chant? Tato Jagama Bhagavan Amoganugraho Vibhu Pujito Suryavarina Stuyamana Prajeshwarai Tato Jagama Bhagavan Amoganugraho Vibhu Pujito Suryavarina Stuyamana Prajeshwarai Tato Jagama Bhagavan Amoganugraho Vibhu Pujito Suryavarina Prajeshwarai Bhagavan Amoganugraho Vibhu Pujito Suryavarina Vibhu. Something stronger? Can you get something a little stronger? Anyone else? Here or there? Can you open that door a little bit? Oh, is this sound the sound of the... No, is it the exhaust sound? Is it hot in here? Should we turn the temperature? Is it hot in here or is it just me? Okay, so it's going. Okay. So, synonyms. Tataha, thereafter. Jagama, departed. Bhagavan, the most powerful Lord Brahmā. Amoga, without failure. Anugraha, whose benediction. Vibhu, the supreme within this universe. Pujita, being worshipped. Asuryavarina, by the most exalted demon Hiraṇyakaśipu. Stuyamana, being praised. Paraja Ishwarai, by many demigods, the masters of different regions. Translation. Then Lord Brahmā, who awards infallible benedictions, departed, being worshipped by the best of the demons, Hiraṇyakaśipu, and being praised by great sages and saintly persons. Text 4. Evam labba baro daicho bibhrad de man yamayam vapuhu bhagavat yakararod divesham bhratururvadam anusmaran. Translation. The demon Hiraṇyakaśipu, having thus been blessed by Lord Brahmā, and having acquired a lustrous golden body, continued to remember the death of his brother, and therefore be envious of Lord Viṣṇu. Purport. A demoniac person, in spite of acquiring all the opulences possible to obtain in this universe, continues to be envious of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Om Agyan Timirandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chakshurunminitam Dina Taismai Sri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Svapadantikam Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Banchakapatarubhascha, Kripa Sindhu Bhevacha, Patidanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. So by your good wishes, I'll try to say a few words. And in the way of announcements, I will not be here the next 2 Tuesdays, and Bhakti Saul yesterday morning said he would cover for me. So I think he's giving class. In fact, he even said then I would know what the standard is when I come back. So Bhakti Saul, Hare Krishna. Now, if he needs help chanting Jayarana Madhava, someone can chant for him, but he said he would give class, so as long as that's okay with all the devotees. Okay. Now, it's true that the only full volume of the 7th canto in the temple is in Prabhupada's hands, right? Right? The one over here is an older one, only goes up to chapter 5. Okay. Who's got a device who would like to read? Do you want to bring something up? 7th canto, chapter 10. What it is I wanted to bring up is this chapter, this part of this chapter, the end of the last chapter in here, talking about the benedictions given by Lord Brahmā to Hiraṇyakaśipu. It was brought up in yesterday's class about these kinds of benedictions, and even here it said that he got everything and he's still envious of Krishna. So his heart was not purified. He wasn't happy. He was unhappy, because when the heart is filled with envy, how can you be happy? You ever been envious of anyone? Raise your hand if you've never been envious of anyone. Everyone should pay their obeisances to the Veda Prabhu. He's never been envious. It's been very nice. But, you know, when you're envious of someone, it just burns, right? Why them and not me, right? Why does everyone think they're so special? I'm special, right? You're envious of, why do they get all the money? Why do they get the girls, the guys, the this, the that, the cars? Why? Why does everyone think they're so special? Why do they? In our life, it could be why does everyone think they lead such a good kirtan? Why does everyone think they give such a good class, or like that? So that envy is there, and the heart can never be peaceful or happy or satisfied, no matter what you get. So that's the point here. He received benedictions from Lord Brahmā, the creator of this universe, and asked for immortality, And of course it says here he was given a beautiful, illustrious golden body, undefeatable by any other personality, he thought. So, but he was still very, very unhappy. So it says here, this labba vara, having obtained his desired boon. So everything he thought would make him happy, as pointed out in yesterday's class in purport, certain benedictions aren't benedictions at all. They're actually curses. They're actually curses. Excuse me? And sometimes the curse is a benediction, as we have with Narada Muni cursing Nalakuvara and Manigriva, like that, Nalakuvara and Manigriva. So yes, sometimes reversals in life we think that would be very unfortunate turn out to be the best thing that possibly happened to us. Like that. Like Prabhupada talked about his business ventures, right? He's trying to. Someone told him that he would be as rich as a Birla, one of the richest families in the world, and then all of a sudden all his businesses failed. All his businesses failed and everything fell apart. And he was saying, "What's going on?" Because his plan was to make money, so much money, and use it for the Gaudiya Math, to fund huge projects and all that. It's a noble endeavor, big money and like that, and everything just fell apart. And you should see it as a blessing and a benediction. Also, Jhansi, Prabhupada went there to start his League of Devotees, and the whole thing fell apart. And he could understand that Krishna wanted him to go to the greater world. If he had stayed in Jhansi, we all wouldn't be here today, right? So it seemed to be irreversible, but it turned out to be a great blessing and benediction. So you have that there? You have a microphone?
You said 7, chapter 10.
Starting with the first verse. What it is, later on, we have a comparison here, a lot of tension and drama. If you think about it, here's Hiraṇyakaśipu, so powerful, the most powerful demon ever to appear in this world, and what he wants in life and what's happening to him compared to the other end of the spectrum is a little 4 or 5-year-old boy, from his son, Prahlad. Now children are usually quite foolish. Do you ever notice that? Then around 35 they grow up. I think they have some intelligence kicks in around 30 or something like that, Prabhupada said. So, people usually grow up around 30 or so. But, little children, they're not known for being like very intelligent and sober. Bhakti Saul, stand up or open the door some more. You don't do that when you're giving class next week. Okay? So, they're foolish. In fact, that's what that means sometimes. Isn't Bala also mean foolish? Sometimes it's translated. Because it means childlike. You're just goofing off, You're not very sober about. But here's Prahlad Maharaj, just the opposite. And what's he asking for from Lord Nrsingadev? Now the benedictions here, the most very, very intelligent Hiraṇyakaśipu performed these austerities which cannot even be imagined, let alone practiced. And he's got the audience of Lord Brahmā, and he's asking for something. You think he'd be asking something for something very intelligent, but he's asking for the most foolish things. And then Prahlad Maharaj, when Lord Nrsingadev says, "Can I give you something? I want to give you something." What does he ask for? He doesn't ask for like a new, what do they call it, Xbox? Or, back they didn't have Xboxes back then, but toys or something. But what did he ask for? That's what you're going to read about, right? So text 1 through 9. In your best reading voice.
The saint Narada Muni continued, although Prahlad Maharaj was only a boy, when he heard the benedictions offered by Lord Nrsingadev, he considered them impediments on the path of devotional service. Thus he smiled very mildly and spoke as follows. Text 2. Prahlad Maharaj said, "My dear Lord, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, because I was born in an atheistic family, I am naturally attached to material enjoyment. Therefore, kindly do not tempt me with these illusions. I am very much afraid of material conditions, and I desire to be liberated from materialistic life. It is for this reason that I have taken shelter of your lotus feet. O my worshipable Lord, Because the seed of lusty desires, which is the root cause of material existence, is within the core of everyone's heart, you have sent me to this material world to exhibit the symptoms of a pure devotee. Otherwise, O my Lord, O Supreme Instructor of the entire world, you are so kind to your devotee that you could not induce him to do something unbeneficial for him. On the other hand, one who desires some material benefit in exchange for devotional service cannot be your pure devotee. Indeed, he is no better than a merchant who wants profit in exchange for service. A servant who desires material profits from his master is certainly not a qualified servant or pure devotee. Similarly, a master who bestows benedictions upon his servant because of a desire to maintain a prestigious position as master is also not a pure master. O my Lord, I am your unmotivated servant and you are my eternal master. There is no need of our being anything other than master and servant. You are naturally my master and I am naturally your servant. We have no other relationship. Text 7. O my Lord, best of the givers of benedictions, if you at all want to bestow a desirable benediction upon me, then I pray from your Lordship that within the core of my heart there be no material desires. O my Lord, because of lusty desires from the very beginning of one's birth, the functions of one's senses, mind, life, body, religion, patience, intelligence, shyness, opulence, strength, memory, and truthfulness are vanquished. O my Lord, when a human being is able to give up all the material desires in his mind, he becomes eligible to possess wealth and opulence like yours.
Okay, now go to text 17. That will be the last one.
Prahlad Maharaj said, O Supreme Lord, because you are so merciful to the fallen souls, I ask you for only one benediction. I know that my father at the time of his death had already been purified by your glance upon him, but because of his ignorance of your beautiful power and supremacy, he was unnecessarily angry at you, falsely thinking that you were the killer of his brother. Thus he directly blasphemed your lordship, the spiritual master of all living beings, and committed heavily sinful activities directed against me, your devotee. I wish that he be excused for these sinful activities.
All right, so here's the comparison as far as asking for blessings and benedictions. And it is observed that every single scripture in the world has these two sides: what to do and what not to do. People who did the right thing and people who did the wrong thing. And why are both in those books, or books of wisdom, any book of wisdom, both are there, because we need to know what to do and what not to do. As it says about demoniac people in the 16th chapter, Pravittim cha, Navrittim cha, they don't know what to do and what not to do. They don't know. They have no idea. What's the best thing for me to do? What should I do? What should I not do? They have no idea. They're completely bewildered. Sammoham, completely bewildered. So good instruction means those two things are there: what to do and what not to do. So, and examples are there. Hiraṇyakaśipu is the greatest example ever of what not to do, right? And you could say Prahlad Maharaj is one of the greatest. He's a Mahajan. Mahajan means great authorities in devotional service or life. One of the greatest examples of what to do, how to think. If you're going to pray for something, what should you pray for? Right? This is the example here. And throughout the pages of the Bhagavatam, there just one chapter after the next, one pastime after the next, you have pure devotees praying for the right thing. Isn't it true? Just like I was telling Dravida Prabhu the other day, I was listening to his narration of the 10th canto, and there was a story about the kings that were imprisoned by Jarasandha, because a messenger had come to the palace in Dwarka, the assembly house, and a representative, thousands of kings were imprisoned by Jarasandha because he wanted, they wouldn't succumb to his rule, so he imprisoned them, and I think he was also sacrificing them. Yeah, so that's like, phew. And 10,000? How many? There's thousands of them. Thousands. and asking, please rescue us. Krishna, please rescue us. And then simultaneously, Yudhisthira said he wanted to perform the Rajasuya sacrifice. So what to do? Should you go to Hastinapur, Rajasuya? And Krishna was thinking, well, I don't know. Well, let's ask Uddhava. He's my best good advisor. So they asked Uddhava what to do. Am I supposed to go rescue these kings? Am I supposed to go to Yudhisthira Maharaj? And Uddhava said, well, the Rajasuya sacrifice, you can't do it until all the kings agree that you are the topmost, the emperor. And Jarasandha is not going to do that to Maharaj Yudhisthira. So I think you got to go take care of that first, kill him, and then go to Hastinapur. So the point being that Krishna did that. And when he killed Jarasandha, well, actually Bhima killed Jarasandha, the whole pastime of them disguising themselves as Brahmins and so on. Anyways, when the kings were released, they offered the most heartfelt, pure Krishna conscious prayers I've heard in a long time. It's an amazing chapter. They were like when Muchukunda saw Krishna in the cave. So there's one after the next, after the next, after the next. And these great devotees are all praying so we can learn what to pray for. Because if we pray for, do you ever hear that saying? Watch what you ask for. Watch out for what you ask for. You ever hear that one? What you wish for, what you ask for, you got to watch out because it may happen. And you may be asking for the wrong thing. And then you get it. Oh no, I got the wrong thing. So what's the right thing to ask for? We know that it's, as Prahlad Maharaj was asking for, pure devotional service. And a symptom of his great purity, non-envious soul he was, the chapter, the 17th verse, he's asking to deliver my father, who was not only cruel and horrible towards him, but his main concern was all of his offensive, cruel, nasty, envious attitude towards Krishna, Lord Nrsingadev. So, and he's asking, was he asking? I wish you'd be delivered. He didn't want anything for himself, and he's asking his father to deliver. So this is a little bit of insight into how the hearts and vision of pure devotees, what's actually going on. So we can aspire for that and understand that's where real happiness will be. Because everyone's seeking benedictions in the material world. Right? In the pantheon of the demigods, everyone's especially after whose blessings? Her name begins with an L. Her name begins with an L. Lakshmi. And Lord Shiva. But everyone, especially even in the West, they don't know it, but they're asking blessings from Lakshmi. Everyone wants some opulence, money, as if that will solve all the problems. I notice on the billboard, the lottery billboards, they've been going neck and neck for a long time, up to like $300-400 million. And the one on the right, whatever that one is, someone won it because it dropped back down to 20. It always starts at 20. So someone got it. No, it was like $300-400 million. Peanuts, right? Pocket change. But what would you do, Dwijamani, if you won that? I'll say, imagine with the average person, imagine who that person is right now. He's like, I may have a heart attack. Yeah. I mean, you think in a moment, wow. Then reality sets in, and it's like, it's a lot of anxiety. Yeah. Money and opulence is not a guarantee of happiness. It's all it is a guarantee that you can buy some things. That's all it is. It means you can afford some more things. That's all. That's all it means. It doesn't guarantee any happiness at all. So, just like our lifestyle, even as brahmacharis in the ashram, you live more comfortably and more opulently than over 90% of the people on this planet. Let that sink in. You think, oh, this is pretty austere life here. But actually, you're more comfortable than over 90% of the people human beings on this planet. So, and then you're brahmacharis, or even just like so-called poor people in America, low income, not poor, low income people or whatever. They're living at a higher level of standard of living than over 90% of the people on this planet. So, quite interesting. So what do devotees pray for? I will end with this, because we recite this every day, don't we? The Shikshastakam. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught us what to pray for. Nadanam, najanam, nasundarim, kavitam va jagati shakame, mama janmani janmishu bhavatad bhakto haitiki tvai. So this is just the opposite of Hiraṇyakaśipu. He's saying, I want dhanam, I want janam, I want sundarim, these are things he wanted. And as far as this other thing, bhavatad bhakto haitiki tvai, no way, forget that. He's envious of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The last thing on his list, it's not even on his list. I won't even say it's the last thing on his list. It's not even on his list. It's not even on the list, devotional service. It's all these other things. And we're just the opposite. Nadanam, najanam, nasundarim. We don't want these things. All we want is pure devotional service. That's the prayer Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is teaching us. And that will actually give us real happiness. So to the extent we become free from the desires of these things for our own personal enjoyment, we'll be happy. And then Ainanda tunuji kankaram patitam mam vishame babam buddhao kripaya padapang jastituduli sadvachintaya. And this sets everything in perspective. Why are these things not going to make us happy? Because who are we? We're a tiny spirit soul, servant of the son of Nanda Maharaj, and we are drowning in an ocean of material existence. That's who we actually are. We're drowning in an ocean of material existence. We're Kinkaram, which means eternal servant of the Lord, and we are drowning in this ocean. So the only thing that can make us happy is get us out of this ocean and just place us as maybe just a particle of dust at your lotus feet. That's the prayer of the devotee. Very, very humble and understanding his real position. Like that. Is there something about I'd rather being a king in hell than a servant in heaven? Right? So people thinking, I'll enjoy in this, but this world is hell. It's a hellish place, a horrible place. Like that. So this is a few examples of, and again, every page, every chapter, every pastime in the Bhagavatam is filled with the devotees, pure devotees. That's what Bhagavatam means. The Supreme Personality of Godhead and His devotees, and how they are exchanging, and there were different relationships and different pastimes, and again and again and again and again, so many prayers are there. They're meant to be learned and emulated. The consciousness of a pure devotee. And why are they so happy? Why are devotees so happy? I was just listening to this, and with this, there's room conversations. I'm listening to all those room conversations, Prabhupada. And this is the Reverend, I forget his name, in Australia. Very nice gentleman. And talking to Prabhupada, asking different questions. And one of the first questions is, why are the devotees so blissful? So why are your followers so happy? What's going on? He said, everyone notices how happy they are. And Prabhupada brought this out because, they don't want anything in this world. They just want to serve Krishna. They're chanting Hare Krishna. They're just completely content and happy. Why are devotees happy? Why are people happy? Because they don't want anything of this world. They don't want anything from Krishna. They don't want anything from anyone. They just want to engage everyone in devotional service. And they're so happy. Whereas Hiraṇyakaśipu missed it. And that's the point. Amazing. Such a powerful... He was so intelligent he could run a universe. We are barely have enough intelligence to run our own life. One single little life, trying to get it together. Then you got people who are smart. They can run a business. Some people are really smart. They can run a city, or a town, or a city, or a state, or a country, and do a good job. And then you got people running planets, right? According to our philosophy. And then you got Brahma who's running a universe. That's why he has 4 heads. He needs 4 times the intelligence. And there's some universes so big, Brahma has thousands and millions of heads because there's a lot going on. So much intelligence. 4 times a headache. Like that. So Hiraṇyakaśipu was so intelligent, he knew how to take over the universe. You know, just think of people like Hitler and different revolutions and so on. They're taking over a country like that. They figured it all out and so on. And how long did that last? How long was the Third Reich? Huh? 1,000-year Reich. Because the Third Reich comes from the fact you have the Roman Empire, then the Ottoman Empire, something like that, and then his was the Third Reich in 1,000 years. And how long did it last? 1930-something to 45, right? And the whole time it was just war and hell. So disturbed everyone. But he was thinking how to take over Europe, take over the world, and like that. He couldn't do it. So Hiraṇyakaśipu was so smart, he actually knew how to, he actually took over the world. Took over the world, the universe, not just this one planet. But he was so foolish that look what happened to him. Lost everything. You know. His fame is his infamy. Is that right? Is that proper English? Huh? No? Yeah. He became Asuya Varya. He became the best of the demons. That's his fame. But that's not a very good thing. And Prahlad Maharaj, a little 5-year-old boy, he won the favor of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Like that. The greatest blessing, greatest benediction, because his heart was pure and he knew exactly what to ask for. So we should all pray like that we can become like Prahlad Maharaj. So we're going to end here. Any questions or comments? Please. A lot could be said on these points.
Of course, Prahlad, he asked for 2 benedictions. The first one, he didn't actually, I think, you reading the 7th chapter of the 7th canon? Because then it comes to this verse, which, and Prabhupada in the purport, he quotes Nadanam Nadanam. Yadi dasasime kaman varang sangvadadarshaba. Kamanam vidyasangroham bhavadastu vanevana. If you want to bless me with a desirable benediction, he calls it kaman, something one would really desire, then please bless me with the benediction that no kama will arise in my heart, that no material desire will take root in my heart. That's his benediction. It's exactly in the line, you know, of Lord Chaitanya. But then, of course, he asks also that his father will be delivered. You know, that's another one. Nothing, you know, no kama there, nothing, no selfishness.
So one takeaway is that if you ever feel unhappy, there's some nursery rhyme about that. If you ever feel happy, clap your hands or something. Is there something like that? Is there? Anyways, if you're unhappy and you know it, no, if you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. So if you're unhappy and know it, clap your hands. If you're unhappy and you know it, just take 2 minutes to think about it, and you'll find it's because of these desires in the heart. Calm, the big ones are the big headers. Up in lights. Kam, Krodh, Lobh. Krishna says it right in the Bhagavad Gita. Those are the 3 gates, three dwara to Narakai, Jam, to hell. Lust, anger, and greed. First, analyze. Is it because of my lust? Is it because of my anger or because of my greed? I'm unhappy. And then you can filter that down to other things. Dhanam, Janam, the Sundarim. Anytime you're unhappy about something, anytime you're unhappy, just think, oh my goodness, this is why. So, in the material world, they'll say, it's because you don't have all these things. Like that, they crank you up. Go to a psychiatrist, I just don't have any more, you know, desire to enjoy. Oh, that's very bad. Just like the devotees during the deprogramming days, you know, they'd send the devotees to the psychiatrist. Oh, my son doesn't want to do this, doesn't want to. Oh, this is horrible, horrible. You don't want to desire to enjoy the material world. Something's wrong with you. But it's just the opposite. Now you're finally right. You were going to say something, Prabhu.
Thank you for the class. I want to ask about this envy. What is the nature of envy? And sometimes we, how to say, it penetrates in our heart, and how to say, like you said, that then no happiness. And how it, I understand that the core of envy is envy to Krishna, but we even not recognize it, but by practice we can recognize, oh, I envy to Krishna, I want to be like he. And what is the nature of this envy when we envy to someone?
That's a good question. And I remember Vishaka, she wrote one article, and I remember taking notes on this. When we're envious of others, we're envious of Krishna because Krishna has given that other person that quality. Krishna has given that other person all that money. Krishna has given that other person a really muy guapo, muy bonita, a really good looks or something, or this or that, or whatever it might be. We're envious of Krishna, really, because Krishna gave those qualities to that person. We don't agree with it. Why them instead of me? But it's Krishna's blessings upon that person. So that's how it's manifest as far as we're upset. We're actually upset with Krishna. You know, just like two siblings. Why'd you give it to him and not me? Why'd you give it to her and not me? Right? You go out for lunch and Kanai, who grabs all the samosas, right, on Friday, somehow or other. We have to talk about that. But he comes out and gives Prabhupada Dasa a samosa, but not one to Balaram. And Balaram goes, hey, Kanai, why'd you give Prabhupada Dasa a samosa and you didn't give one to me? Right, you're upset with Kanai because he decided, I'll give it to Prabhupada Dasa, not to Balaram. So this person has something more than I do. But Krishna's the one who gave it to them. Krishna has inspired that person with so many wonderful qualities, and we're upset. And it means we're actually upset with Krishna.
Also, maybe it depends on our karma.
Well, it's karma and all that, but the point is, it's coming from Krishna, and we're upset about that. Because it's coming from Krishna. And anything else? We should end.
Envy. In my editing career, I soon came across this word envy. And Prabhupada was using it in a different way than we use. Because envy, I always thought, in a common way, is jealous of someone. That's what you're talking about. But here in the dictionary, this is the English dictionary, there, you know, a feeling of discontent or covetousness with regard to another's advantages, success. That's the common use of envy. Obsolete in the American dictionary, ill will. If you, because I'm reading, you know, along and then working on it, one should not be envious even of an ant. What does the ant have that I want? In other words, you shouldn't, like a little kid, will look at, you know, and stomp as many ants as possible. So it's synonymous with this hate, and not that you want something, but just like you hate. You know, so you should remember that when you read Prabhupada's books, that's part of what he talks about as envy. Of course, we shouldn't do that either. But it's not always that you want something, it's just that that person hurt me or is, you know, whatever.
Okay, so we can end here. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Sometimes my question was that sometimes we envy for this person, sometimes even no. I mean, this is like a flicker in something. Why? This is a law of karma. This is depends on our karma. What?
Yes, depends on our karma and the mood we're in. Moods change.